Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new Nvidia daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over Nvidia. Let's talk about what is happening to Nvidia, what we can expect moving forward as this stock is doing a whole lot of nothing, and I'll give you my thoughts moving forward. Also, by the way, one of the lowest volume days I think the stock has seen almost like at this point might even say ever. Extremely low volume day, unbelievably low actually volume day. So yeah, I'll go over my thoughts. If you enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and of course, if you enjoy my technical analysis, thoughts on the charts, etc., again, I do share my thoughts with my members every single day as the market is open, as the market is trading every single day. So definitely check it out. Again, I'd love to have you there. Link is down below in the description of every single video for just $3 a month. That's all it is. You get access to all my Tesla updates, options flows, and broader market updates as well. $5 a month adds Nvidia to that as well, so all my Nvidia updates. And then $7 a month gives you access to everything I just mentioned, plus non-Tesla, non-Nvidia stocks that I share when there's opportunities worth sharing, when a stock is setting up nicely, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And on the weekend, we do chart requests with members on Discord, and we have a tier 3 members Discord section, chat room, where a lot of members are chatting throughout the day trading, etc. So good place to bounce ideas off of other good traders. But nonetheless, jumping into it, Nvidia closing the day up only 0.36%, right? Pretty humble day for Nvidia, not really doing a whole lot. But again, did I say this right? It's not surprising. The stock now that it's such a mega cap stock, it's hard to like truly move it, but this stock really likes to suck in premium. It's a very good stock to sell options on, to be completely honest with it. It loves to suck out premium. It really just loves to do it. But in terms of the overall picture, right, the structure, the next move, essentially, the easiest way to think about it, at least in my opinion, to simplify it as much as possible is, about 181 to about 174. That to me right now is probably the two most important levels. Above or below that, we don't really have anything happening with the stock, and we can continue. Like I said, I think yesterday or the day before, we can continue expecting chop within this area, right? Because Nvidia loves sucking premium. That's just what it's really good at it too. So expect continued chop really between those two major levels, 181, 174. That's sort of, $6-7 range, because that is where the prices are. The main levels are, at least right now. Above or below that, we can start talking about stronger moves up or down, right? But until one of those starts to snap, or until we start getting at least a better picture of something setting up for Nvidia, right? Maybe we do come back down to 174, but ends up just looking like a nice looking bull flag. That's a possibility. And then we just get a nice continuation and actually maybe break all-time highs. That absolutely becomes something we can start mentioning more confidently. But right now, because there's just only 3 candles, it's not really giving you too much information. There's not that much to talk about just yet, other than the fact that there's those main levels. And technically speaking, this is still a lower high, rejecting right at the green Fibonacci's. So, if we don't start seeing bulls setting up something bullish, maybe let's say next week or something, we could get some problems coming in as we head into the rest of September and October, right? So let's continue monitoring this, guys, step by step, day by day, week by week even, right? But that's kind of the main thing. There's unfortunately just not that much new to update for Nvidia, mainly because it's just not really doing a whole lot today, right? It's pretty much hasn't moved today. But again, watch for this range. Very, very important range. Expect potential continued chop in this range until one level breaks. I do unfortunately lean slightly bearish, obviously, because I still view this as a potential lower high until proven otherwise, especially considering it rejected right at the green Fibonacci's. That is a bit of a concern to me, but the bulls are not out of the game just yet, mainly because, well, the MACD has actually cooled off pretty nicely, so there is that. It is starting to make higher lows, so there is also that. But the main thing is the fact that the stock did reclaim the bullish exponential moving averages. So to me, if the bulls really want to come in swinging, they'll need to go ahead and get a nice consolidation maybe next week, down into about 174, into the EMAs, nice potential looking bull flag setting up over here, and then break out. And then that could send the stock meaningfully higher and even break fresh all-time highs and actually potentially go well into, the very high 100s, right? Closer to $200 per share. This is like the bull case, right? This is the bull case. The bear case is this is just a lower high. That's all it is, just a lower high, rejection of the green Fibonacci's. And especially if we start breaking 174, especially if we break 170, 169, those are the main levels, then, we just, at the very least, come down for a double bottom, equal low retest, or we just come down and make a fresh high, and we come down to my main target, like I've been saying, of around 150. One of those two paths is going to happen. We don't know which one. It's too early to say. There's not enough information to say for sure, unfortunately. There's a lot of contradicting factors. But right now, while the stock continues to burn premium, I'm personally just focusing on other things. Like obviously Tesla was a pretty damn good one for now. But, we need more information. We need the stock to set up in something more meaningful, I guess you can say, and then we'll get something with more concrete detail information direction. But again, as of right now, I do have to lean bearish until the bulls prove me otherwise, which, like I showed you, they could, right? The bull flag breakout is one of those opportunities which can happen. Let's see how it goes into next week. But that's kind of all I got for you guys. So yeah, as usual, if you enjoyed the video, yeah, again, please don't forget to hit that like button, guys. I really would appreciate it. Obviously, options flow very quickly. I'll go over the broader market as well. I didn't get a chance to do it in the Tesla video. It was just too long talking about Tesla. Pretty slow, honestly. Very bullish morning start. Then some bears came in. Then kind of a mix towards the end of the day. Very slow. I mean, it just feels like the attention is being drawn to, you know, Tesla, for instance, right now, right? A lot of attention on Tesla. So Nvidia, it's just not doing a whole lot. Options flow is just kind of a snooze fest. There's just not that much going on, to be completely honest with you. But going over the broader market, I mentioned how 575 on the Qs is important, right? Is important. We broke above 575. We turned it into support on this nice kind of candle right here, and we held, and then we just, you know, we're just slowly continuing higher, making a fresh all-time high. Even the MACD is looking bullish. So, you know, like I said, as long as we're above 575, and especially the EMAs, yeah, we're bullish. The bulls are in control. There's just no reason to even try shorting the stock. And, you know, maybe you get lucky and time the top. Of course, maybe this is the top, and you get lucky, and, you know, FOMC tomorrow, and not FOMC, the rate cut decision, and, you know, witching day or witching week, etc. You know, yeah, the market crashes, and you get lucky. You know, that's a possibility. Of course, you never know, right? But there's just, again, it's just a gamble. You might as well just gamble it. As of right now, the bulls are in full control until something proves us otherwise, right? Maybe losing all-time highs and closing back down below 580 already could be a potential start of a warning sign. But the market is still bullish, at least as it stands right now. Again, I would say the only SPY actually looking a little less bullish. I'm not gonna lie, SPY looking less good than the Qs, for sure, in terms of this specific daily candle, right? That's a bit of a concerning daily candle on SPY. Qs definitely looking a little bit stronger, but if there is one concern, I would say, in the broader market as a whole, that is, of course, like I mentioned many times, we do have that, especially with the RSI, we have a bearish divergence across the board on SPY and the Qs and the MACD, right? So if there is a concern, it is the fact that there is a large divergence where, you know, we're essentially going up and to the right, while, you know, the RSI and the MACD are kind of going to the bottom right, pretty much the opposite direction. That is a bearish divergence. That is a concern going into potentially even next week, right? If I had to find a concern. But again, until the market really loses, like on SPY, for instance, this trend line, right? Until Qs really start losing key levels like 575 again, maybe even losing previous all-time highs and going well below that. But I would say 575 is the main one to start seeing some weakening. The market's still bullish. Maybe we'll come back down and get a retest of 580 to 575. That's a possibility. But as long as it holds, I see no reason to be bearish on the market, at least not yet. But losing 575 and especially 560, okay, there's concerns. There's definitely concerns building up here, and that's not ideal. So that's kind of all I got for Nvidia, guys. I don't know. There's not much more to say. The stock is not doing a whole lot, but that's a kind of a broader market update for you as well. But yeah. I mean, let's see how it goes next week, guys. Let's see what happens. Let's see what we can expect moving forward. And yeah, if you enjoyed, please don't forget to hit that like button, and I'll see you on Monday. Peace.